All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back. It's me, Daniel, with VintageMagic.com. This video is all about liquidity. Yes, for Friday, it is Finance Friday. I've done like over 25 of these now. It's about time I talked about the #1 reason why people pretty much cannot purchase a collection, deals. Have you ever done this where you basically have to like buy list stuff and you feel like you have to like sell all this cards to get some trade value, and you're rushed to do it and you're confused what you should do, and you don't know if you should sell dual lands? No. That's... What are you doing? What are you doing? Hey. By the way, say a nice hi to Nick and also the new puppy, Nutmeg. Alright, obviously every video has to have an interruption. Alright, back to the video. Liquidity. Liquidity is basically one of those things where you have to sell what you have to basically get more money to basically buy something else that could be more profitable, better investment, whatever you think it is. Long-term or short-term. The problem with not being liquid, well, I guess there's two things. One is you can be liquid, or you can be too liquid, over liquid, and you can be under liquid. Having too much cash, let's say, causes a great concern, because what happens is if you actually have a situation where you have all this cash, not invested in anything, it's that ongoing, like, am I getting interest? Am I fighting inflation? Should I just put it into something just to have something in a possible growth mechanism? That kind of idea is pretty, it kind of happens quite a bit. People always wonder, should I be in cash? Should I not? That kind of thing is not what I'm going to talk about. I'm not talking about today about being over liquid. I'm not talking about being under liquid. Liquidity is very important in your ability to buy Magic the Gathering collections and deals. I got asked many times, Dan, how do I do this? I only have a couple $1,000s. How am I able to actually purchase a deal? How am I actually do I just sell my revised dual lands? Should I, trade this to ABU Games or Star City Castle? What should I do? What should I do till I can raise more capital so I can buy these deals that you and other investors are buying? Well, the truth of the matter is, the problem with that idea is, it's because you don't have any cash flow. That's the problem. The problem is you don't have any real cash flow coming in that will basically allow you to basically buy these collections without having to sell all the time. If you're always wondering and worrying about, it's almost like the paycheck to paycheck phenomenon. You know how people have paycheck to paycheck issues where they have to pay their bills and they're always, like on the brink of being broke, basically, all the time. The brink of being broke. And it's the same idea of being that way with being not liquid enough where you don't have enough cash ready to go to buy a deal. The other thing that really hurts when you're buying a deal is if you don't have the cash, is you won't even get the deal. Let me explain. There's deals where there's either sealed product, or there's cards, or there's other types of, collections and fancy little sheets and misprints and stuff like that, where the person with the cash to buy the deal is the person that wins the deal. And it's quite simply, some people would find this tactic to be a little bit aggressive, but it's true. Because when you plump a bunch of cash to a buyer, and they're just really looking to get out, or they're looking to move on with their lives, or make their, start their retirement, or whatever it is, right? You have the cashier's checks, or you have the $100 bills, whatever it is, whatever you do, So you basically close that deal within that like moment. You don't wait another 24 hours or another hour or two. You close that deal instantly. That whole ability to do that actually requires you to be extremely liquid. For example, when you go to like Magic Fest, or I don't know even know if they allow you to trade, but back in the good old days of trading, leveraging cards was one currency, but leveraging cash during a trade is the most powerful currency. Most traders, yes, they want cards. Most traders are looking to get the better stuff versus sell their crappier stuff. Every trader is trying to do that. But if you basically sell the cards, if you basically offer cash within the trade, you end up becoming the more attractive trade. A lot of times when the people are trading cards and stuff, they're also shopping around to other vendors or other things going on. And if you don't have any cash, you're the least attractive of the trade. Now, it is true. Some people will be like, well, Dan, I'd rather have the equity in cards than, the less cash. So for example, let's say they're able to get like 15 grand in trade, and this other person is offering like 10,000 cash, 11,000 cash. You'll be like, dude, I'm losing like 30, 40%, whatever the calculation is of value. But remember, the cash you have is liquid, and you're able to then make other deals that you could make a higher margin on, possibly. It's always a fine line type of thing, balance going on. Liquidity also comes up to a problem when you're also trying to be a buyer. Something that happens a lot is people come to me, actually a guy came to me recently and wanted to buy some Power 9. And he said, hey, I have all these cards that I want to sell. Will you take them? Like, we're talking like Library of Alexandria, Tabernacle, reserve list staples, right? Now, they're not bad cards. They're, some nice quality stuff. But the truth of the matter is, if I am trading a Power 9, well, ultimately what happens in trading, for me, is I want to get the person that is trading, is not wanting to initiate the trade, always wants to get the upper hand, in the sense that they have to account for transaction costs and their time. If you basically say, hey, look, you have to, I'm gonna take these libraries, tabernacles, mana vaults, I don't know, whatever, right? Mana drains, whatever it is, reserve list cards, old school cards, and I'm gonna take all that currency and trade that into like one Power 9 piece. What does that mean? How do you actually convert those currencies? And as the person receiving the cards, and then I have to convert them, I'm going to be taking off at least 15 to 20% off the top because of eBay and PayPal. And then I'm also going to be taking off another 15 to 20% for my time to, maybe I'll hold them for a while, maybe I'm selling it quick, I don't know. See, that's the problem right there, is people that are doing that kind of trade are thinking, wait a second, don't you just value the value of my cards just what they are on eBay or whatever they sold for last? No, that's not how it works. Unfortunately, there's a transaction cost that you have to account for, and you're not going to get away with it. Well, Daniel, aren't you going to hold the card for like 5 eons and blah, blah, blah? And, no, Nick, no, it's a hammer. Put it down. Hold on, guys. Nick has a hammer. Okay, hold on a second. Sorry, guys. If you guys ever have 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, whatever, they're absolutely crazy. They grab whatever they want. Like the other day, Nick grabbed a knife just by total quickness. Like, I just turned my back and looked at it and like started putting his tongue at it. I'm like, holy mother of God. Obviously, I stopped him in time, but that's just scary as hell. If you guys have any stories about that, put in the comments below. All right, back to the conversation. So if you have like all these smaller reserve list cards, and then you're trying to convert them to like one Power 9 card, or like a Mox or a Black Lotus or whatever the hell you're doing, remember, you are going to lose a lot of the trade equity that you have, more than you think. Now, here's what people always tell me, the one thing. They're like, wait a second, ABU Games is having this massive trade bonus. I mean, by the way, their trade bonus is absolutely insane. But here's the trick. Their trade bonus is very high. It's like 3x in some cases. Ridiculous. But their retail price is just as insane. So remember, it's not what, I mean, you can work on inflated evaluations for stuff. I mean, we can make your Alpha Black, you can make your Alpha Black Lotus ungraded 100 grand, just shits and giggles, right? But that means that if you want to trade for the 9.5 Alpha Lotus, I'll make it, I don't know, $1 million, right? That's how it goes. You have to look at the actual price relativity, the difference, the gap. What is the gap of the trade you're doing? So in the case, let's go back to the situation. In the case of this guy who has, let's say he wants to get like a Mox or Black Lotus or whatever. He has all these small cards. And if you go back to that video, for example, of the guy, Arthur, at Grand Prix Vegas 2018, he had a binder full of cards. Same idea, where he had an opportunity to get a 9.5 Beta Lotus, a Beta 9.5 Jet, and an Ancestral. Retail value today, over 100 grand. Over 100 grand, easily, because of the fact that there's so much in demand, the higher grade stuff. Some of you might argue that, but that's fine. That's what I would sell them for, over 100 grand. Whatever. So the binder that he gave, you're like, wait. Some people are like, wait, there's a nice quantity, right? Oh, they get fascinated with like, oh, there's a quantity. There's all these beta cards and commons and playables, and you have the Power 9. Basically, you have like a 8.5 PSA Beta Black Lotus, ungraded Ancestral, ungraded Jet, or actually a BGS 9 Ancestral. All these things. No dual lands. Some collector edition cards, whatever. You're probably thinking, wow, why in the world would he do that? There's so many cards. That's like way over 100 grand, right? See, the thing what you don't understand is that those smaller cards, if you want to trade them and sell them, they will require a ridiculous amount of work to maximize for any kind of seller. And also for a guy like me who has so many of those cards already, it's not appealing. Unless it's going to be an attractive trade value price, then there's no deal. And that's why that deal never happened. It's because Arthur hesitated. He basically didn't want to complete his set because he didn't want to give up his equity. We actually made a deal like I think 2015, and we did a large deal, and it was a relatively decent sized deal. I think he made out pretty well, but I think you realize maybe just some people feel like the quantity of cards outweighs the actual quality of cards. I would actually beg to differ that a balance of both actually is a good hedge. Now, my last point of liquidity. Some of you are probably asking, how in the world am I ever going to get liquid when I have like kids, dog, cats, cows, whatever? How do I actually save up any money or get to that point? Well, first off, my number one tip for that is stop spending money on the moment you get money. Stop buying money. Stop spending money with the moment that you get money. What that means is when you get your paycheck, don't buy like a puppy. Save up when you actually can afford the puppy or take care of the puppy, things like that. When you get your paycheck stuff, don't plan on a vacation. Don't plan on fancy things. Save up your money so you're preparing yourself. One of the hardest part about the generations of whatever we are in, people don't really save their money. They just spend their money. Interesting conversation. I spoke to one of my bookkeeper, and she likes to do real estate investing. She's trying to get into that. But she said a very good advice. She's like, a mother of two, and basically she's like, people don't really save their money. People don't really save money anymore. They just spend it instantly. It's just like what comes in must come out. That's definitely what she said. But do you see what I'm saying? It has to be one of those things you have to understand, that the in and out motion. God, this is disgusting. The in in and out motion, Daniel. People is what people are focused on in life. They look at like, okay, I made X amount of money. I'm going to then spend X amount of money plus additional what I don't have on my credit card. That philosophy is what makes you unliquid instantly. You'll never get out of it. So that's the first tip. The second tip is once you start getting more disciplined and you finally get more of a situation where you have some ability to get liquid and you have a good mindset, then I would start putting away a little extra every single month. And also pay down your credit cards, your other bills every single month. Quicker. Accelerate paying off the payments. Once you have liquidity of some kind, buy deals that will be short-term and long-term. That's the third thing. Long-term and short-term, long-term are very important. You can't just buy cards that are graded only and expect a short-term trend if you can't wait long-term. You understand what that means? You can't just buy something that has to be a long-term play, but then require it to be short-term and then get frustrated and then you have to sell it because you didn't plan ahead. You have to have a balance of both. You have to have a set real expectations. You can't be buying something to hope that it's going to double overnight. See, the problem with the market that occurred 2018, 2017 is, it basically went up so fast in different areas that people were buying into such higher prices. They're confused why in 2019, like I've been saying in my other videos, why it's going to be pretty much flat, down a little bit, pretty much the whole year. I don't think people understand that's where it's going because the prices shot up so fast. And they're kind of like, they have this like fear of like, whoa. I have this sitting in the bottle. It's $250, $200. TCG player says that, right? Wow, it's going down. What's going on? I mean, isn't that supposed to be like 500 this year? Isn't that 500? I mean, it has to be, right? Absolutely not. That's not how it works. You have to understand that certain cards have gone up really fast, and you have to appreciate, some of it's going to have to be long term. Or you sell them, and this is the last part. After you have equity and stuff, it's the choices and the ability to sell at the right times to then be able to reinvest. The last thing you do is to buy anything. You have to do this fourth thing first. You have to reinvest, reshuffle your inventory, sell the stuff that isn't moving, sell the stuff that you have high profits you've had for a while. Not necessarily just because it has high profits doesn't mean you sell either. See, that's the hard part is there might be items that went up 1,000x or, but they might have opportunity to go 1,000x more. See, that's the problem. You have to be able to analyze and select different types of short-term and long-term plays. All right, guys, I hope Finance Friday Day was a little bit interesting. I hope you guys got something out of it. I know there's a lot of information in this video, some distractions. I am going to Australia end of the month to finish this to finish a deal. I got some travel next. I'm going to Orlando next month in February. I love other deals coming up. Exciting stuff going on. Essay contest, people. I am going to wrap this all up here soon and select a winner. I also, guys, Magic Fest 2019. I booked a room. I booked basically a 3-bedroom villa, whatever they call it. It's not at the Westgate this time. I'm not going to tell you guys where so you guys don't stalk me. And I didn't want to stay at the Westgate. I feel like the Westgate is just, you know what I mean? People that stay at the Westgate, the food sucks. The location kind of sucks. You're stuck there. I want to relax a little bit. I want to, meet a lot of you guys. I want to do some business, play Magic, whatever, buy some stuff from the vendors, trading, whatever you guys are doing. But if you're going to Magic Fest 2019, I'm going to be there. A bunch of my other friends will be there. More announcements coming soon, but I will not have a table. So don't bank on a table. But doesn't mean we can do deals. Doesn't mean we can't talk off the site, and have dinner, lunch, whatever. If you're interested in doing a deal, if you're interested in selling something, you can contact me always on my website, vintagemagic.com, and we can talk more about Magic Fest 2019. All right, guys, have a great weekend. Nutmeg says bye. Take care, guys. Have a great day.